All right. So, what was rising up today is believing in the impossible. So, I just wonder, I guess what I wonder is like how much we limit ourselves, right? We limit ourselves with these programmed sayings, once in a blue moon, things happen once in a blue moon, meaning it's so rare. And so it stops us from so many things. It stops us from celebrating, right? When we do get something, because when we get something, we're already immediately like, well, that was like a once in a lifetime thing, And it takes away from the energy of receiving, right? It takes away from the energy of what's here and what's serving you right now. Um, and, I think about my husband too. He used to say, our last name is Mallory, right? And he used to say that in Scotland, it stands for luckless. So I'm luckless. And he used to say that all the time. Like when I met him, he would always say, like, well, I'm luckless anyway. Like, so every time he didn't win something or he didn't get something, he'd be like, well, of course, because I'm luckless. And I started to be like, especially when we were going to get married, I was like, okay, you got to stop saying that. Like, I'm gonna be a Mallory. Like, you gotta stop saying that. We are not luckless, right? That's not true. We're not luckless. And then I went to a stag and doe. We went to a stag and doe for my friend who we didn't know anybody there. We just knew my friend, right? So we didn't know anybody there. We go to the stag and doe. It wasn't a very good stag and doe, but there were a lot of prizes. There was this like a lot. There was like this like square of all these prizes. I won 8 baskets. Like, we won 8 baskets at the stag and doe, and it was pretty funny because we got started to get uncomfortable. Like, we got 4, and people are looking at us like, "Who is that?" Like, who like, we felt like we were, like, people that crashed some random, stag and doe. Who is that? And at that it was that day, I remember we were talking about it, and he was like, wow, like how did you do that? And I was like, I don't know, because I decided that I'm lucky, I'm not unlucky, right? You have to decide. It's a decision to believe that the impossible is absolutely possible, because the truth is, the deeper truth is that anything is possible. We are the creators of it, right? And this has been rising up for me because I'm asking for some big experiences this year, and they seem really, really impossible. But every time I sit and I feel into them, I do feel like they're mine. I feel like they are my experience to have now, right? And I'm calling this in. And what's happening though is when we decide to believe in the impossible, things open up. We dream bigger. Like, I'm now suddenly dreaming bigger, that it's possible that I can have anything I want. That was a limiting belief that came up when we did a timeline shift with me. Um, I believed that, like, when I was young, I decided that I can't have everything I want. I can have some things, but I can't have everything that I want. And so I think about how much that has limited me moving forward. How many times I was only focusing on one thing, right? Like, I used to always say when I was in my mental health journey that I was inadvertently healing, right? When we were teens, like, I was inadvertently healing. But I feel and I used to say that now I'm intentionally healing and it's faster, right? Everything is faster. And I've realized now, like, exactly this, believing in the impossible. I did believe in the impossible, but because I would follow my heart and do what seemed impossible, right? And I would get there. Like Kyle, it took 9 years to get there, you know. Um, but well, no, it didn't really take, that's not true. It didn't take 9 years to get there. But what was my point? Where was I going with this? Right. I would focus on this one thing that I wanted. I would put that out to the universe, just this one thing though, right? And then I would get it. And then it was like, "Oh, okay, now I can think of another thing. Now I can do that." And so exploring within ourselves, where might we be doing that now? Where might we be setting our sights at a ceiling, right? Only here, or only this one thing, only this one vision. And how are we allowing space for, like, allowing space for the unexpected to come in, allowing space for possibility, things that you don't even realize you want, and maybe they'll come. And I wonder how many lost opportunities happen all the time with all of us, right? That we can't recognize that um it might be the impossible coming to us. And another experience that I had was, Sylvia knows about this. I was selected for a $1,500 photo shoot, boudoir photo shoot. And I've won all kinds of things. I won a crystal mala the other day. Like, it's just amazing. I've been winning a lot of things. So I have a big gratitude list of, like, just all these little things that I keep getting. It's pretty cool. But I got this photo shoot, and I never get Facebook ads. Like, I never get, and Robina, this was during the miracles class, right? I got a Facebook ad for this boudoir shoot, and it's a women's empowerment project, right? And I was like, I ignored it at first because I was like, oh no, I don't think I'll do that. Like, what, actually what I was thinking was like, what if I win it? Ooh, I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'm brave enough for it. And then it was like, it came up again. And I was like, fuck. Okay. So I clicked on it and I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. Okay. And then I was like, oh, it's a women's empowerment project. It's pretty cool. Like, when I was reading about it, and I was like, okay, I'll apply for it. And then you go through an interview, right? Because they want to make sure they're selecting, people that represent the nature of the project. And so anyway, I do this and whatever. I've booked it now. So I did book it. So yeah. So I've booked it for next month. But what I was going to say is, that's not one of the things I'm calling in. It's not one of the things I'm calling in as my miracle, as the experiences that I want to have, right? And so while those things aren't coming, this thing arrived. But there was a time not too long ago that I started thinking about that, and I started thinking like, well, that would be really empowering. Well, that would, and I started thinking like, maybe that would really help me in this self body love journey that I want to take, that I'm scared to take. And I'd kind of, I guess, put that out to the universe. And isn't it funny, when I decided I can have all the things that I want, something I forgot that I wanted arrived. And I didn't realize it at first, but I was like, in reflection of it, I was like, oh, wow, something I wanted. So I can have all the things I want. I can have all the things I ever wanted. I can have them all now too. And so I guess the invitation is just, how can you do that? How can you put it out that you are open to all possibility, that you believe that you can have everything you want? Can you claim it? Right? What I like to do is bring that vision, with my third eye. I try to kind of project that vision of what it looks like, what it feels like, what it tastes like, what it sounds like, right? What it feels like. I think I said that. What it looks like. Um, Immerse yourself in the experience of it for 1 minute, even just 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then pull that down into your heart. Pull that down into your heart. And we have done so much work on anchoring in that feeling of gratitude in our body. Call up the feeling of gratitude and allow it to kind of hold it and embrace that vision, right? And do that with every experience that you want, whatever the travel. Like for me, there's a lot of travel involved in the experiences that I want. There is mind shift. I want to be in mind shift, and I imagine that, and what it feels like to actually be in that community, because I kind of feel like I'm already part of that community, but to actually be in it and living the laws, right? And Yeah, every experience that I want. We want to travel with Kyle's parents, like, so I'm imagining that, and I keep bringing a new experience in, and new ones start to pop up in my imaginations. In my imaginations, I have several of them. Um, a bunch of them start to like, I start to maybe like I feel like it's the universe that provides it for me, but I suddenly learn about a new experience that I've never even thought about for myself, and I'll sit with it for a minute and imagine myself in that experience and feel it. Does it feel good? Does it feel? And now I've started to really be like, oh yeah, I want that too. I'll take that too. You know, let's project that out, and let's bring that in and wrap the gratitude around it and be grateful for it already. Be grateful because you can't conceive it if it wasn't possible for you, if it wasn't in your timeline, you know, you wouldn't be able to conceive it. And so I invite you to believe in the impossible. That's my little rant. If anyone wants to unmute and share what comes up for them, or what kinds of things, yeah, what challenges have you faced with believing in the impossible? Do you believe in the impossible?
Um, I personally kind of struggle with that word
Mm,
because we're always told like anything is possible.
mhm.
Anything. Um, so yeah, impossible. It's one of those words. I'm like, it gives me a weird feeling, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it. But yeah, I've always had a very vivid imagination. So,
Mm.
but then it's always just been my imagination. I never had the knowledge that it could turn into actual reality, and that's how we make reality. So that's still something that I'm learning
Yeah.
and into. But yeah, and the receiving part, I realized, yeah, you were in the miracles class, but you weren't in Money Mojo.
No, I wasn't in Money Mojo, yeah.
So the one day she made us all just like stop and close our eyes and focus on our breathing. And she's like, pay attention to your inhale. That is your ability to receive.
Mm,
And I was like, oh my God. And when I pulled my neck a couple days ago, I realized like my breathing is so shallow. Like
mm,
exhale pretty deep. I know the benefits of getting all that excess air out,
yeah.
getting old air out, I guess. So there's room for new air, but then I don't fill it up with the new air the way I should be. So I'm realizing that I'm like, oh my God. And so I've been focusing on my breath a lot and stretching so that I can actually expand. And then I got a $50 gift card for being in Jessica's numbers group. And
Oh, that's right. Yes. Amazing.
yeah. So I was like, oh, that's cool. And then yeah, just taking the time to take care of myself.
I love that.
But
That's a really good point, though. Like, bringing it in, like, that's a great way to cultivate receiving.
and now every time I breathe in, I'm thinking, I'm allowing
Yes.
myself to receive. I'm allowing myself to receive. And I forget what it was. Was that just this past week that you did when you're opening up the back? When was that? When you were
What,
really
like, for
focusing on
receiving? I don't remember.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember
yeah,
what you're talking about, but I don't remember when.
yeah. The last few weeks have kind of flown by, but yeah, so that's just what was coming up for me. And I love that inadvertently healing. I
Mhm.
never considered that concept before, but yeah, when you think back certain times
It's
in
like I got through
your life,
life. Yeah,
yeah, and
I got
I'm
through life.
realizing things and learning to love myself and inadvertently healing myself. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's
So
what, and that, yeah, it's because everything's connected. I always knew that. I always knew everything was connected. And so I always was curious and putting it out to the universe. Like, I want to understand this. I want to understand how everything's connected. And so I feel like, looking in hindsight, the universe was always providing it for me. And so I didn't realize what I was doing. I didn't realize we were creators. I didn't, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with your photo shoot, share
Pardon?
some of your images? Will you share them?
I think I will.
Yeah.
I've thought about that. Yeah. It's funny, my values from Brain Game is bold, abundant, and vital. And bold, that would be bold. That would be very bold for me to do that. But
a lot of people,
really exciting. Because, one connection, like with Sylvia and I, like Sylvia she embraces that. And I actually love that about her so much. And it's a reflection that I haven't been able to hold for myself yet. And I feel like I'm there and I'm ready to hold it for myself. And I'm scared, but fear and excitement are the same, right? Like that vibration. So I just keep choosing excitement when I sit and imagine myself in the experience. It's like when I got married and all the makeup and hair like was done and I felt so glamorous, man. Like, and that was such a great feeling. But that was 11 years ago. I haven't felt that way in 11 years. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry for anyone listening on the replay, but what the F? So I'm ready.
Well, that's good too, because when, like, in Joy's story, she always talks about, I was overweight, I felt terrible, and I just made a choice to love my body. And I started telling my body every single day that I love you. And then her body responded and it got healthier just by loving it.
You're so powerful.
Yeah. Anyways,
that's so beautiful. Yeah, I love how she talks about that too. We're that powerful, and that is, oh man, that is just my mission on this earth, is to help people realize how powerful they are. And why I do that is so that I can recognize how powerful I am, because I still don't know it, fully. All right, Sylvia, did you have any comments?
Yes. Well, Robina, just so you know, I was a boudoir photographer. I haven't done it for a long time now, but it's such a beautiful experience as the photographer to watch a woman hold in that way. It's probably my second most addictive thing I've ever done in my life. The first being like adoption and watching a child grow and unfold. But since we can't do that every weekend, this was the next best thing, was to watch women go through this process underneath my lens. And it's about the only thing that calls me back to photography still. And whenever I am not feeling the love for my body, one of the surefire things I can do is take photos of myself again. And I've been actually having a lot of thoughts about it today, because I finally announced publicly, kind of came out of the closet, that I'm a conscious kink mentor. I have it in my bio now. Like, I'm in a circle. Everybody knows. It's on my Facebook. Like,
How are you feeling?
Talking lady person now. I mean, the thing is, like, anyone who's known me, this isn't, it's like, oh, of course. But yeah, it still feels weird to kind of put the label on myself, because I feel judged. I feel the potential of being judged, I guess. But anyways, that's beside the point. But I was like, oh, I need to do some photos of myself. If I'm going to start talking about this content, I need more spicy photos to go with it. So I'm in the same process as you are. It never is easy. It's never something people really want to do, just so you know. But the process is important and it's so worth it. So
yeah. And you show up. That's what the woman that I spoke with, she's like, it's amazing to her. She's like, how people are so nervous for this experience. And she said, but they all show up, Angie. She's like, they all show up. And she's
Yeah.
like, that's all you have to do. If you just show up, you'll have the experience.
And the one thing I think that's really magical about it is it's in partnership with another woman.
Yeah.
So the woman taking you through the journey will be just as involved and just as important in the process. You're not doing it alone. And I don't think we get many of those vulnerable sexual experiences, as especially you hetero ladies,
Mhm.
women in that way. And I think it's going to be, I don't know. I feel like there's something just magical and more empowering when a woman tells you, I see your beauty, and she really reflects it back at you. Because men are like, oh, you're so pretty, blah, blah, blah. Or I want to fuck you, blah, blah, blah. And we just discount it a little bit because they have
That's so
testicles. I don't
true.
know why, but like, we know they'd kind of do it with anybody. So whatever. But like, having that experience with a woman is just absolutely magical. And I think you're really going to benefit. So that was the one thing. But then the other thing I was thinking of when you were talking about receiving, one thing I've noticed, so I don't know if you guys knew this, but just pre-divorce and probably led to my divorce, I did an social experiment on myself called the Year of Yes,
Yeah.
where I was able to say no to anything. I had to say yes to everything. And the Year of Yes led me to so many bountiful things, but I realized they didn't always come like wrapped in the package that I had expected. So like I wanted to be this really amazing photographer and have all these opportunities. And sometimes the opportunity that came in a package that was like a person I didn't want to spend time with, or somebody that was triggering me, or an experience that I didn't want to go out to, or a client that I didn't want to work with. And I had to say yes to those things I typically would have been like, no. And it didn't look like what I was asking for necessarily immediately. It led to what I was asking for. And I think the same thing happened with the career I have now too in real estate. Like I was looking for a place to put my Airstream trailer. I didn't think I was going to become a property manager and build houses. Did not know. I really advocate that everybody understand your boundaries. Yes, understand like your intuition, but my intuition wasn't honed enough then for me to understand. So I had to say yes to everything and trust in myself that if I put myself in a weird or not the best for me situation, I had the power and like the confidence to get myself out of that situation. It would be fine. That like there was nothing that bad that was going to happen. And just say yes once. You don't have to say yes multiple times. You can still honor a boundary by trying it one time and then being like, well, okay, I tried it, but no. But just try and be open to the things that don't necessarily look like gifts yet.
That's such a beautiful message. And it's so true. And I'm curious how, like, those things that you would have said no to, what gift did, working with the person that you don't like, you can't stand, right? How was that for you? How did that land in the end?
I mean, it's so crazy. So there's one specific story. There was a girl that went to dance class with me, and she was like really eager to spend time with me. And I just found her like to be too extra, which is weird because I'm usually the most extra person in the room. But like her extraness bothering me, but it just was. And I just felt like she was too bossy and all these things. Anyways, but she just kept putting herself out there and inviting me to things. And I was like, okay, wow, she really wants to be my friend or something. I thought she was trying to use me for, I don't know. I had all these bad negative thoughts. And it turns out in the end, we've been friends for like 6 years now. She just really admires me and really values me. That's why she was trying so hard to be my friend. And she has put me forward for some of the best gigs I did. She's recommended me so many different times. She helped me get like my gig in Vegas. She helped me get my gig in Miami that allowed me to be a traveling photographer. She recently was going to hire me to take care of her apartment as an Airbnb manager. Like, she knows the things that I would be good and qualified for before I even know. She's
Amazing.
putting me forward for things before I understand that I am even talented or capable enough, or have even thought that that job could exist, because she admires and sees me in such like a golden light, which I guess I never really had before in like a new friend. I always felt like I was the one having to try and like
Yeah.
chase after friends, and I had this script about myself that I don't get along with women very well, and like I have trouble making friendships, and yeah. So I always felt like she was so ingenuine, but it was wrong. I was so wrong.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Like, what a beautiful share. And, I see how it's interesting because the triggers are opportunities for us, right? And this is a prime example of a trigger being an opportunity. It's like, it's like, I like what's coming through for me is like there might be a part of you that's judging your extraness, and it was projecting onto her, right? And like she's showing you, she's reflecting to you actually who you are.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Like being her friend over time too, as I've come to understand like how I might be perceived to other people too. So it gives me like a lot more like grace and patience with new connections and stuff. And
Yeah.
it also gives me the confidence like not to dampen myself either, and also to be that cheerleader for somebody else, because I am often the person as well who sees the glowing before you see it in yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I've been pushed somebody farther than they were ready because I know they can do it and I see it before they can.
Yeah. And now you get to be on the receiving end of that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
beautiful. Oh my gosh, I just love that story. Thank you for sharing with us. And you may as well share your gratitude while you're here.
Oh yeah. So I've been working on my gratitude all week. So I'm back at home, and it's a rough week leaving South Africa. So I have been sad. And I knew this was coming, and I was like, okay, by Friday, let's turn this around. So yeah, like the first thing I was so sad about was I'm like, I have three homes. Like, I have the cabin, I have South Africa, and I have Aaron, and I love them all. But I will always feel like my heart is in shards, like spread across the world. I'll never have a whole heart again because a piece of me will always be homesick. And I was like, oh, this is my fate now. Like, I'll always be homesick feeling for the rest of my life. And oh no, I'll never be able to fix this. Even if I put all my people in one place, like, I'll still miss. I don't know. It just seemed like I was doomed to have this heartsick forever. And why would I have set myself up for this? And blah, 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 blah. And then I was, wait, I get to have three homes. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Let me
Reframe.
I get to like, yeah, I get to go to all of these places that are a home to me. They're not just like a vacation spot, which is fun, and traveling is fun, but like it's really magical and special that I get to have three homes, and I get to have all the opportunities that those three very different places have for me and the kids too. Like, if he wants to go to shark school, he can go to South Africa and like live in our house and study sharks 2 seconds, the best sharks schools in the world. Like, I get to have all of these opportunities. I get to be included in each of these communities. I get to make an impact and then make a mark. And yeah, I really did a rephrase on that. So then I was like, okay, well, what are the things I'm upset about right now? And can I turn them into have to get?
Mm.
So the other thing that's been like upsetting me is I spend a lot of my day driving the kids to and from school. I have 4 hours a day. I have to do that because they're on
Wow.
schedules and the bus doesn't come here. So like my main thing every day is just driving. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna rephrase this because it's like stressing me out because I can't like get a job or I can't work like a normal person because I have all this like driving I have to do. So then I was like, wait, I get to spend 4 hours a day in the car with the kids.
Mhm.
Like I get to have that hour alone with each of them every day in the parking lot of the school, spending time on conversation with them and interests that are specific to them instead of like the two of them, like a one-on-one time. And I get to have the privilege to do this. And yeah, I get to have these long drives in the country roads of solitude, like to think about all my things. And yeah,
That's beautiful. What amazing reframes. How does it make you feel to like once you reframed it? Did it shift? How did it shift what you felt?
it shifted like a lot because like this isn't going to last forever. Like this is a small piece of time. And I'm lucky that I get to have this with them every day because they're the preteen stage, and I think this is the time when if you don't invest, you can lose them to their friends. Like their friends become the first line
Yeah.
and all that stuff, So they're forced, forced to spend time with me, and it's a time period in their life for them to have that, I think. And yeah, so the other one is like I was feeling so super overwhelmed with the business, and like we're 4 months behind on Lincoln Pond House now, and it's not making any money, it's just costing money. I've been so stressed out. And then I was like, wait, this is the reason I'm stressed out because I'm building a fucking house that I've never done that before. It's hard.
Right?
No one teaches you how to do, like I'm just winging it, like full on winging it by the seat of my pants, just building a fucking house from scratch. Duh, that's stressful, okay?
Oh my gosh, no kidding.
I get to be stressed. So, and I get to count that as like work, and I
Yeah.
don't have to keep like devaluing myself and saying I'm not doing enough. Like learning to build a house is a thing I'm doing, and it's a hard thing, and I'm learning it while I'm doing it. I did not go to school or anything like that for it. Like I am figuring it out as I go, and every day there is something new. Some person calls me and is like, you have to sign this, you have to do that. Like I'm just figuring it out. Yeah, that's okay to be stressed, and it is a real job.
That's also amazing that you're building a house from scratch.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Sometimes I forget it for somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Like I forget that that's like a real chore or like a job. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't give myself like the credit for it. Instead, I just like always putting myself down. Like, how come you didn't know this about electrical wires? How come you didn't know that you have to contact this person? How come you didn't? You should have researched. You should have. I should myself instead of like giving myself credit that like, okay, well now the next time you build, you'll know. Like, of
Yeah.
course, first time there is no manual for building a house in another country that like you can't go to.
And is there an invitation to allow all these helpers?
Yeah, like that's the other thing this whole process has been about, which I know more, like I'm more conscious about, is I have to put my trust in all these men that are my agents. And one of the hardest things is asking questions because they'll say things real quick. And then I'm like, my instinct is just to be like, okay, it's not okay though. It's like, it's really not okay. Like, I don't know what.
You're like, you have to say something.
Yeah, I have to be like, wait, so what is that? Where does it go? How do I get one? How much does it cost? Where do I put it? how do I get it to you? Like,
Right.
I really have to slow them down and ask for their guidance and leadership and trust in the masculine. And, my instinct is to want to come up and be like, I can do it just as good as you can do it. I can't, though. It's not the truth. I don't know what I'm doing.
But your ego sure is like, wait, no, I'll just come up there. I'll look at it myself. I'll do it.
Yeah. So really learning how to trust and to be vulnerable and to ask the questions. And when I don't understand the answer that they gave me, to ask it in a different way, asking it until I really understand. And that is the only way that I can learn and that I am learning. And it is like, yeah, learning to create trust and partnerships and all that, which I don't know if that's like a gratitude, but that's definitely part of the process I'm going through right now.
I wrote it down as being grateful for these opportunities to trust men.
Yeah.
And speak up with your questions. Does that?
I'm pretty good at speaking up with you guys and like in my trusted circles, but I've kind of isolated myself with boundaries. Like I don't have to like report to a boss or anything anymore. So I'm kind of don't necessarily have that skill yet of conscious communication in like a workplace type place. So it's good practice.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to read something for you. When you were talking about the shattered heart all across the world, right? It's interesting. When I was cleaning up my desk preparing for Circle, I grabbed my Work Your Light deck, and I wasn't intending on pulling a card. So it was weird. I just like grabbed it and I put it on my desk. And as soon as you were talking, immediately I was like, oh, that's why. Mintaka. And I feel like I might have shared this card with you before because it makes me think of you actually, because she's a mermaid sitting on, can't really, it sucks because you won't get the full effect of the color. It's like a really vibrant color, but she's a mermaid sitting on a rock, right? Overlooking this beautiful clear water. And the message is longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. Have I read this to you before?
Yes, because it definitely does resonate with me because I've always felt homeless.
Yeah.
Which is so ironic.
Yeah.
It's so ironic to me that it doesn't matter how many places I have home, I continue to feel homeless. Like home security, the security that I have a home is something I battle like every day. Which comes from past, like our deep-rooted past, but like I also set my life up now to be a big purposeful nomad, which is interesting.
It's funny, Eldora and Saman, they call themselves 5D vagabonds. That's what they call themselves. And they're 5D vagabonds, and they just travel wherever the guides tell them to go. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, so I'm going to just read the transmission. Put your hand on your heart because your heart is your home. I allow myself to be truly here and at home on this planet. I release any feelings of grief around not belonging or feeling held and call in the perfect home within. And I'm feeling there, receive it in the back of your heart. Yeah, that card, every time I see that card, I think of you. I always see you as the mermaid sitting on there, always. You, my friend, are one of the original light workers.
I do travel with my tail all the time too. So I always have pictures of me in random places with my tail on.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. There was so much goodness in these messages. Thank you. Robina.
So for gratitude, definitely this week, Dan, with my neck all busted up, he came home early on Tuesday so he could pick up, well, the one boy from school, because when I told him I couldn't because my neck hurt, he almost started crying. And then I started, because I'm like, seriously, like I'm fucking in pain. Come on. So yeah, he came home early to help. And then the next day he stayed home for the morning to get the one to school and then drive the other one to where he goes. And then, yeah, and then yesterday he came home early again to pick them up after school. Like they can take the bus, like getting picked up, because then they listen to music on the way home. And I think it makes them feel special to get picked up. So it's important to them. So yeah, and he's been rubbing my neck and just, yeah, he steps up. He really steps up when I need him to. So very grateful for him this week, more so than normal. And then yeah, the messages from my body that it keeps giving me, even though I don't like them. And the message of the turtle to just slow down and hide in your shell if you need to. Yeah. And then of course the breath.
Yeah, that's a beautiful.
That's been a big one. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mm.
I am feeling particularly grateful today for lasting friendships. Like, despite no matter how long, right, Sylvia, you and I have been apart, to come back together, it's like nothing, no time passing. And I have a lot of those friendships. Actually, it's actually the norm of my friendships is that, you know, if we can return it. And I'm aware that that's a reflection of me, right? And how I treat our relationships. I create that in my relationships, and I don't create any drama, right? If somebody tries to contact me again, it's not like, I haven't talked to you for like 4 years. Why are you calling me now? You know, like I don't create that drama. So I guess I'm feeling grateful for the lasting relationships, and I'm feeling grateful for the energy that I have spent in those relationships, the energy that I've brought into those relationships. I'm learning to appreciate myself more. I bring into relationships. I'm really grateful for my statement of alignment from Brain Game. That statement of alignment, I've spent 2 weeks with it, and it has shaped, and she said that would happen, like it changes little by little, it sort of adjusts itself a little bit, right? And now I've gotten it to this place that it feels so good. And this conversation we were having about possibility, I like my possibility, like it has opened up now because I have this vibration of my statement of alignment. And so I'm really grateful for the vibration that it brings me. Um, I'm really grateful for lemon water right now. You weren't on earlier, Sylvia. I drank last night, and I don't drink. Like I drink, but I have like 1 drink, 2 drinks, you know, max. Like, yeah. And so I'm feeling really grateful for the lemon water. Like I have the lemon oil in my water because it's really clearing it out. I'm feeling it leave my body. Like, so yeah. Really grateful for it. I'm gonna drink some of it now. All right. I'm also grateful for all these wins. All these, like, I'm winning so many amazing things. Really grateful for, and everybody around me is winning too. Like Robina, you won, like, and Julie won in that same draw. She won the relationship reading. Julie won the relationship reading. And then my friend Megan, she won a scholarship with the Light Ascension group for a coach. Yeah, she won that. Julie won a quantum coach certification. Like, everybody's winning around me, and I love it. It's like lighting me up, man. I love how everybody's winning. I'm winning, everybody's winning, and that's a really great thing to affirm. Everybody's winning. We're all winning. We're all lucky. Anyway, so I'm feeling like super grateful to have it around me and in my own experience. I love it. All right. So let's take a deep breath in, land into the body. And I want you to call up gratitude in your body and just notice, feel it expanding, flowing from cell to cell to cell throughout your entire body. Pulling your breath in deep. We're going to say, even though I don't always feel the gratitude, it's always here with me to call up. And even though I might sit on my gratitude without acknowledging it, right here, right now, I'm expanding it and I'm pushing it out into my aura. And even though I don't always focus on being grateful for what's to come, right now, this gratitude is embracing all my visions. And all the possibilities. Top of the head. I am feeling so grateful. I get to have 3 homes. In between the eyes. I get to have these experiences with my children, with people I love in these homes. Side of the eyes. I get to make an impact in 3 communities. Under the eyes. And sometimes I feel homeless. Under the nose. But I get to reframe that. Under the mouth and have these experiences that I love. Collarbone. I get to spend, I'm grateful to spend 4 hours a day with the kids. Under the arms. I get to have conscious conversations. Under the chest. And share in their interests, their individual interests. Wrist point. I'm grateful for these long drives that I do have in solitude too. Top of the head. I'm actually grateful for this experience of building a fucking house from scratch. In between the eyes. And it's really stressful. Side of the eyes, but I'm grateful for all it's teaching me and asking of me. Under the eyes. I'm grateful for these opportunities to trust men. Under the nose. And to speak up with conscious communication in business. Under the mouth. I'm so grateful for Dan stepping up to help me with the kids. Collarbone, and to take care of me. Under the arms, I'm grateful for these messages that I'm receiving from my body. Under the chest, and yeah, they really fucking suck. Wrist point, but my body loves me. Top of the head. I'm grateful for the message from the turtle to slow down. In between the eyes, it's okay to hide in my shell. Side of the eyes, I'm grateful for the breath. Under the eyes, and consciously bringing it into my body to expand. Under the nose, I'm grateful for expanding my receiving. Under the mouth, I'm feeling so grateful for lasting friendships. Collarbone, I'm grateful for the energy that I have brought into these relationships. Under the arms, I'm grateful for what these friends reflect back to me about myself. Under the chest, I'm grateful for this vibration that I'm experiencing with my statement of alignment. Wrist point, I'm grateful for lemon water and how it cleanses my body. Top of the head, even though I put the crap in there. In between the eyes. And I am so grateful for winning, this winning energy all around me. I'm tapping on the side of the hand. We're just going to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I love all of this, and I want so much more of it. And so it is. And just take a deep breath in. Feel that gratitude. Feel it in your aura. Play around in there. It's all moving. It's vibrating. And we have anchored that in. Thank you. Sylvia had top off yet. All right, so we will do intention. Robina, what are you intending this week? And if you want to share anything that came up, feel free.
Well, I got new oils. So
Awesome.
I would your insight. Lemon was one of them because I got the BOGO box.
Yeah.
So lemon was one of them, and I kind of understood like the energizing nature of it and the refreshment of it as far as topically and diffusing. But yeah, so in the water.
Yeah, so lemon in the water every day. Just don't use plastic bottles because lemon, it's so strong, right? Oils are so strong. So just use glass or metal. That's the warning I would give you on that. Yeah, it's so it's cleansing. It removes toxicities. It's good for cleaning as well for the same reasons. Yeah, but it cleanses your body.
Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so we just put a couple of drops in water.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if it's okay, I'll just message the different oils to you. I think there's 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I'm 100% on what all they can actually do.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you could, even if you just like the picture,
yeah,
little book or whatever, that's cool. But yeah, so my intention for this week, do my stretches every day, every single day, my ass on the floor and do them. And yeah, I've been noticing doing the stretches and the breathing, like they coincide, and I feel so good, and I feel like my skin looks better from deep breathing and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I don't know why I need these constant reminders. But yeah. So that's my intention for next week.
I'm gonna let Rosalie, and Rosalie's coming in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Still connecting to audio. Hi, Rosalie.
Hello.
Hi, so nice to have you here. We're actually just setting intentions for the week right now.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to think about mine as I get
All right.
ready, and then I'll see you in a minute. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Sounds good. All right, Robina, continue.
Yeah, and just focus on the deep breathing and balancing out the inhale and exhale, and maybe enhancing my awareness a little bit about how that changes what comes in and out of my life.
Oh, I love that. And thank you. That actually sort of inspires an intention for me. Yeah, you were done? Yes. Before I start talking.
Sorry, yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Yeah. I'm like, I hope I didn't just hijack her. Like,
Or you get two, done.
Yeah, that's it. There's a limit on your intention.
Exactly, you hit your quota.
So enhancing awareness. I love that, because I've been receiving so much, and I've been doing this lately, like starting to pay attention. And I've known this practice and I've done it in the past, but writing down what you're receiving is a really great practice for receiving too. And so my intention might be to explore this and play with it, this deep breathing that you're talking about, right? Bringing the breath in and really focusing on receiving when you do that, and also enhancing the awareness of what is coming in, because so much has been coming in for me. I've been having lots of rough moments emotionally. And so I think it's really important to do that. So I also am going to benefit from that intention with myself.
Cool. Yeah, and I just want to say too, part of the practice that Joy talked about was when you do inhale deeply, hold it and appreciate it, and show gratitude for it.
Yeah.
And just like you would anything that you receive, you should be holding that
Pausing.
Yeah, and appreciating, and whether it's money or gifts or time or whatever. Yeah,
That makes so much sense. Like in Kundalini yoga too, we do that, and we always pause and hold it and have a moment in that thing. But I've never thought to apply that to our money, to our receiving of that.
yeah,
So beautiful.
yeah. And it's funny when I do hold it and I kind of relax, but I'm still holding all that breath, it's still expanding my muscles. I can still feel my muscles, like
feel it.
Oh, and it's so cool. It's such a neat feeling.
Yeah.
And I haven't applied that yet to other stuff. Now my mind's going there, so I will. But yeah, I'm sure there's something that connects to that too. It's expanding your ability to receive, I guess.
Yeah, Rosalie, like earlier we were doing our gratitudes, and Robina was talking, well, earlier we were just talking about possibility. Actually, that's what we were talking about at the beginning. And she was talking about Joy sharing in Money Mojo. I don't know if you were in Money Mojo, but she was sharing about breathing in and actually pulling the breath deeper into your body, right? To receive though, with the intention of I'm receiving more, right? And I just thought that was brilliant. I was like, oh, that makes sense. But I've never thought about it around money.
Yeah, that is really beautiful. I do the Wim Hof breath, which is filling yourself up to the maximum, right? And
Yeah.
to use that with receiving would be wonderful. Thank
Yeah.
you for revisiting that. I guess I missed timing again, but happy to
Yeah.
be here anyways.
That's okay. We're happy to have you here. Yeah, it started an hour ago, but that's okay. You're here. You're here with perfect timing, and we're setting beautiful intentions. So, and we're happy to see you. So what? So yeah, my intention is going to be awareness of receiving. It's also going to be it's still practicing my brain game tools. Um, yeah, it's because that has been just changing my everything. So I'm definitely going to continue that. And I also have a really deep intention this week with my husband. Something has shifted. One of the biggest lessons I learned in my life was when I do my work, they can't help but do their work, those around me, right? And so that really started to help me let go of control, always trying to control, and trusting and learning to trust and surrender, right, to that knowing, because I felt the depth of that learning. And so interesting. Like I've been struggling around his money issues. Like I'm trying to expand my money, like my money mindset and energy. And I've been trying to control him a little again, right? To make him like get on board with me and make him watch Joy and make him listen to and I know that doesn't serve. And so recently I had to sort of let go again. And when I finally did decide to do that, you know what happened? The other day, he comes to me and he says, I was listening to this guy on TikTok. He's getting a lot of inspiration on TikTok, by the way. And he's like, he was talking about, he went to his son who plays video games. And one day he went up to him and he said, today is the last day you're ever going to play a video game. And his son was like, what? Like, why? And he's like, successful people do not play video games. And my husband was like hit by this. And he's telling me this, and I'm just like, you get so excited when they have this awakening moment, right? And he's like, I was thinking about that. And I was like, yeah. He's like, why am I playing video games? Like, that's not who I'm going to be. And he's like, you're always being who you're going to be. And he's like, I'm not going to be that person. So I need to start doing something different. I was like, what? What's going on? And then he says to me, I was looking up like opportunities to make money. Because if I'm spending 2 hours on video games, what if I could make money in that 2 hours? And then he got led to this transcription service, and he's a really great typer, right? And so he got led to transcription. And I was like, this our friend paid for their wedding. Like our friends paid for their wedding from transcription. That's what they used to do. They used to transcribe audio tapes. And so I'm just so grateful that he is like rising up. Like the love and the excitement that I felt when he was sharing this with me was like I could almost not contain it. And so my intention this week is going to be to really support and nurture that in him, and just be a support and listen and love him, and just shower him with love. That's what I'm going to do. With love and support. All right, Rosalie, what do you, so yeah, we're just sharing what we intend for the week. And oh, can't hear you.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm definitely on the intending of receiving, for sure.
Yeah.
Opening my back to receive wealth. And it's funny because I've made some shifts like in my mindset, and it's interesting, like the immediate signs that have come up for me to verify like we're living in the law, or like affirming and the universe giving is happening. So that's beautiful. So yeah, more of the intention with that. And probably just being like utilizing grace a lot for myself and for others. Yeah.
Can you?
And decluttering.
Oh,
More of that.
oh, thank you for adding that. That's perfect because that's the energy of this month, right? Is release and ending completions, getting rid of what isn't serving. So can you repeat, Rosalie? It's funny, I was just so in like, listening to you and then I didn't write it down. Before utilizing grace for yourself. What did you say before that?
Well, just utilizing the universal laws, and asking for what I want, and then yeah, enjoying receiving.
I love that.
Yeah. Because I did the law of vacuum. Like we didn't have a vacuum for 3 weeks. So it was kind of literal for me. And then I succumbed to getting a vacuum and clearing out with 3 dogs. And I'm like, okay, so law of vacuum, what's going to happen? And the next thing I saw was this really cool design of the mid-century modern teak table for free so that I could refinish it because I'm needing some extra cash. And then just asking for wealth to come in. And the next thing you know, I'm driving home from my dog walking. And there's another mid-century modern coffee table just on the side of the road in good condition. Like I just need to take off the varnish. And other than that, it's like an $800 coffee table.
Wow.
So yeah, so just really enjoying being in the flow of it.
Oh, I love that.
Receiving.
Oh, I like this is why, this is why it's so important, like for us to come together and to share our stories, to share our wisdom, to share our knowledge, because like that is so exciting and it reignites my own belief in it, right? And it's like it can come in all the different ways. It comes in so many different ways. I love that for you, Rosalie, because we cross paths all the time and I hear, I hear the challenges that you might be having and I'm just so excited for you that that's happening.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Me too. It's nice when it finally starts kicking in.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? All right, so let's take a deep breath in and we're just gonna anchor into our bodies, anchor into the heart. We're gonna place our intentions in the heart. And just start tapping on the side of your hand. And we're going to say, even though I have all these desires, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get them, I have intentions this week. And I love and I accept myself and these intentions. And even though intentions don't always go as they plan, they're planned. That's okay. I'm putting out the energy and I'm leaving the rest to the universe. Because I know and I trust that the universe is always working for my highest good. And even though I don't know what the week is going to bring, that's okay. I am going to sit in the flow and trust that my intentions will take me exactly where I need to go. Oh, that rhymes. Top of the head. I'm intending to stretch every single day. In between the eyes. I'm intending to focus on this deep breathing. Side of the eyes. It makes my body feel so great. Under the eyes. And I intend to enhance my awareness of what is coming in and out of my life because of this practice. Under the nose. I am intending on focusing on what I am receiving. under the mouth, because every day I'm receiving so much. Collarbone. And sometimes it goes by unwitnessed. Under the arms. But not this week. Under the chest. I'm going to practice my brain game tools, all my tools. Wrist point, the tools that are bringing me to the life that I am creating. Top of the head. I am going to shower Kyle with love and support. In between the eyes. To help him on his journey. Side of the eyes. And I'm going to bask in the love myself. Under the eyes. Watching him grow and get excited. Under the nose. I am going to open my back, the back of my heart, to receive wealth. Under the mouth. I am in that flow right now. Collarbone. And I intend to keep that flow going. Under the arms. I intend to receive wealth. Under the chest, I intend to utilize grace for myself. Wrist point. I am going to declutter the space. Top of the head. And ask for more. In between the eyes. More of what I want. Side of the eyes. More of what keeps me in my wealth. Under the eyes, more of what brings me joy. Under the nose. My intention this week is to utilize the universal laws. Under the mouth. And ask for what I want. Collarbone. And I'm going to enjoy and embrace this flow. Under the arms and see where it takes me this week. And then tapping on the side of the hand, we're going to say yes, yes, yes. I'm going to ask for more. And so it is. Now I want you to take a deep breath into your body. Feel the energy of all these beautiful intentions. Push it out into your aura, press it out. Allow it to surround you, allow it to precede you in everything you do this week. Trusting, putting your trust in the universe. That maybe, Sylvia said this earlier, that maybe our intentions won't be in the package that you expect. But can you trust that it will come? And however it comes will serve you for your highest good. And breathe that into your heart. Put your intentions, all our intentions, into the heart. Send that out. So beautiful. Oh. It's 222 right now. I set all my alarms in angel numbers. So like, I can't take credit for that. Julie's the one that does that. She's like, I only work in angel numbers. That became her mantra a few months ago. She's like, yeah, I only work in angel numbers. So it's like, if somebody tells her a price or something, it's like, let's say it's like, 205. She's like, yeah, I'm going to give you 211. And I love it. I love that she did it, right? It was so her. And then I was like, why am I not doing it? Like I started looking at my little alarms on my phone and they're all just like whatever they are, right? And then it was like, oh, I love that. So I changed them all to angel numbers and they make me happy now. Because every time an alarm goes off, I get the 222 or I get the 333, right? I
That's
guess
so
you're 3 hours ahead. Yeah, we are 3 hours ahead, Rosalie. I'm so sorry. It sucks. I'm sorry. There's a lot of things I've learned from this experience, this 3-day experience, because I know so many people in BC, right? I know so many people in that time zone, and so I've learned lots of things actually from this experience. You do that for 11:11. Awesome. Yeah, it brings me joy. It's a funny little thing that brings me joy. My alarms used to annoy me, actually. I don't know. Do you ever feel that way? Like, as mom, when I'm with kids, like if I'm in another room and I hear my alarm going off in there, I actually get agitated. And so this has been like negating that agitated energy. So what I was going to share for, well, Robina, you're already in my membership, but I was just going to share a little bit about my membership for Rosalie, for people on the replay. I want to just give huge gratitude to everyone who has participated, who has just supported me in this 3-day experience. These are my favorite things. I love this circle, like this gratitude and intention circle. I look forward to this. This is a weekly thing that we do in the Tapping into Soul membership. And I just love it. I love speaking other people's gratitudes because they're so relatable. They're so relatable, and I'm grateful for those same things in my life. And I love holding that space for others, for what's exciting them and what they're grateful for and what they want to bring into their weeks, right? And it's almost like it gives me this opportunity to cheer you on energetically all week too. Like I know what your intentions are, and it's like, there's something magical that happens in circle. I just love circle, and I love sharing wisdom. I love sharing experiences. I love sharing knowledge. And so that is actually one of the highlights, I think, of the membership. And it's $44 a month in this membership. So there is a weekly circle every Friday at 1:00. We have day 2, we did the experience of the Tonglen meditation and the Buddhist teaching. And so I do that 3 times a week. Angel number 44. Oh, $44. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why it's $44. I didn't catch that. Wait, what? What angel number? Oh my God. Yes, $44, exactly. It's a beautiful, yes, it's a beautiful angel number investment in yourself. And it is a beautiful gift to bring to yourself. Also, I mean, I lost my train of thought. Okay, go back to the Buddhist teaching. So that's another thing that's really deep for me. I really love the Buddhist teachings. I love what they bring to us. I love the new way of thinking that it sparks in us, right? And so that was actually why I created the membership, was because I wanted to teach these teachings and I didn't know how I could do it because they're like, you have to practice, you have to allow space for these teachings to take place in your life, right? And it was like, I'm not going to do a year program to like teach these teachings. Who's going to commit to that when they don't know what this is, right? And then it was like, oh, but if I do membership, one of my favorite things, being in circle, teaching these teachings, right? And practicing them in my own life. Like, I'm just a very human teacher of life. That is what I do, right? And I share and teach what I want to have in my life. And so this membership is for me just as much as it is for anyone else. And so I do that 3 times a week on Tuesday mornings at 10 or at 11 actually. And then we have 1-day oracle cards are my favorite. So day 1 experience was doing the oracle cards and doing a meditation, right? And so I love doing that. That's once a month. I actually feel like I might increase that to 2 times a month. because I really love that. I love the messages that come out. Again, we're sharing wisdom. Each of our messages speak to all of us as a collective always, right? And I love hearing your messages too, again, so I can energetically cheer you on, right? It's beautiful. So that's going to be increasing to 2 times a month. And then we have, what am I missing? I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to pull up the calendar for April. No, is this where I go? Yes. Oh,
You actually have April calendar done already?
I just did it. Yes.
What?
What? I'm on top of it. I was like, I have to have a time for
Seriously?
this. So here is what our calendar looks like. So here we have Friday. You guys can see this, right? So I have, you can't see it? Can you see it? Oh, why? Shoot.
No, I just see like your Facebook and your notifications.
Oh, maybe I have to do it from, oh, shoot. Okay, well,
The
I'll
one
have to
with
read
growth
it.
mindset on the bottom.
What's that?
We have the page with
Yeah.
growth mindset on the bottom.
I think that's an ad.
Oh, that's just, yeah, that's just my Facebook. I opened it from my downloads, but I guess it's not showing up. I'll have to put it in the group then. I don't know why it's not showing up. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay.
But at least I can refer to it to tell you what's going on. So only Good Friday, we won't have one, but we have 4 circles this month, every Friday at 1. The teachings that I do are 11 a.m. on Tuesday mornings. Rosalie, for anybody in the West Coast, that's going to be at, so I can't count, 8 a.m. However, this is live in the Facebook group, so you don't have to be there live for it. It's all available. We do meditation and oracle cards. That's going to be on the 13th and the 27th. And then we're also doing the Kali and Kuan Yin play date. So we had done a bonus oracle session with Kali and Kuan Yin, and Kali is the dark mother, right, for us to help us with our dark lessons. And then Kuan Yin is the light, the love and the compassion, energy, right, to help us with loving ourselves, right, and standing in our light. And so I decided to change the play date to Kali and Kuan Yin so that you get to decide which deep message you want. Or do you want one of light? What are you in need of, right? What are you in need of, light or dark? Right? Where are you at? Everybody's always at a different place, right? So that's going to be on the 3rd of April. And so I think I'm going to be keeping those around too, the Kali and Kuan Yin play date, because I really think it's important to address our light and our dark. And these messages are so deep from those oracle cards. They're very, very deep, beautiful messages and activations. So that is what's going on in this membership. And I'm really excited. Oh, we also have a Q&A call once a month. And that is just, Robina and I are on that call often. And we just talk about what's on our hearts, what we want to know. We share our ideas, our, perspectives of things. And it's really fun. It's just a place to be seen and heard and to ask questions. And that's it. So I will be sharing it in the group. The doors are going to be open today, and it's $44 a month. You can cancel at any time, of course. And yeah, I love this space. It is what I've created is exactly what I love having every month. So, and I'm so grateful to the core group of women that have been with me. And I tell them this all the time. I love them. And I've grown in this experience. And, you're afraid to fail, right? To do these things. And I encourage anyone, even if you can't be in this membership, part of what I do is I share, I'm trying to reflect to you what's possible for you too. You can create these spaces too of what you want and what you need. And there will be people that will follow you. There will be people. Your mind will tell you there won't be people. And I can't tell you enough how grateful I am for those people. So that's it. I love you guys. I'm actually going to open up a bonus Q&A call tomorrow. If anybody wants to hop on that call, I'm going to open that up tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. So that would be 8 a.m. in Pacific time. That's right? Yeah, 11 a.m. would be 8 a.m. So I know I'm like, am I doing my math right? I am. Yeah, so I thought I would open up that because I love just jamming with people and talking. And that's all it is. It's just a Q&A call. If anybody has questions about this membership, if they have, you know, whatever, if they want to, yeah, whatever's on your heart, I don't care. I don't care what it is. Nothing's untouchable to me. So yeah, so thank you guys for being here. I love you. Everybody on the replay, if you want to share your gratitudes in the group, we'll all energetically cheer you on and your intentions, even if you weren't on this call. All right, you guys have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Have a
Bye.
beautiful off to dog walking now. Bye.
Yay, enjoy.
Yeah, thank you. It's sunny, so
Nice.
it was.